Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And as an EDC aficionado, I'm always pleased when Olight updates their EDC tools and takes them to the next level. Got a couple today. First one, I'll start with this. This is the, if you read that, this is the Otacle Pro. It is a full titanium, well, it's a knife. I'm going to get to that. But this was the earlier version. This was the standard Otacle. This was a great little utility knife. It has a G10 scale on one side, full titanium on the other, but it had two issues. One is it required a screwdriver to change the blade. You had to unscrew that. The second is, if you looked at this blade, you see that little hole there? It was a proprietary blade, which of course caused a lot of people to say, why? You know, why would I want a utility blade? Because we go through them like crazy. You know, we end up, if you use them hard, you end up going through these blades quite often, even one or more blades per job. So they came out with the Otacle Pro. Full titanium. It's got a pocket clip here. You can see this yellow thing actually comes off, but you can see full size, fits in the hand. This is a can or a bottle opener. They've gotten rid of the little 1/4-inch spanner on the far side. They did keep the slotted screwdriver, but if you look at this up close, they've got a lanyard hole, they've got a slotted screwdriver. This is a locking mechanism right here to keep it from accidentally opening should that be an issue. The can opener, nice shape, super thin. It's even thinner than the previous version, you know, compared to, you know, a monster blade like this, or one of my favorites, this Fisker's here. So the way this works, you've got this standard slider here. I did lubricate this. It turns out the reason I put something on it is because I thought it was a little kind of resistant to sliding. Turns out I was pushing down way too hard. You just push down a little, it slides beautifully. Comes out to the full extent. There is a midpoint here. This yellow strip does come off, so I can take that off when I'm used to this. And then if I push it down and advance it a little bit more forward, and push it here, what it allows is the removal of the blade. And I thought this was interesting. They have a Stanley blade here. In fact, if you look at this up pretty close, this is the 1992. It's a classic utility blade. That is a great way for Olight to literally say, we take any blades. This is about the most basic for the last, I don't know, 50 years. So anyway, same thing here. When this is all the way up to the front, you slide it up, push it in, and you can easily flip or insert the blades. One of the things you want to do is make sure it's all the way in to that second notch. Otherwise, you have a little bit of the blade sticking out. But anyway, there's the midpoint, and then there's full retraction. Great execution, Olight. It does make up for some of the issues that people were complaining about or suggesting with this one, with the regular Otacle. Now, that to me means a lot because it means Olight is paying attention to the users, and the users look at it and say, hey, what's with that? Boom, they come out with this. Perfect. Super light, full titanium, pocket clip, standard blades, got medium and full extension, easy swapping, and there is a lock here. The lock is for the full retraction. It just prevents this thing from sliding. So if you, for some reason, want to keep that from moving forward, that's what you do. There you go. The other thing they came out with is this Olight or O-Knife Otacle. This is the Jimmy or JMI. Let me see if I can see that. J1M. Looks like Jim right there. This is actually a simple little titanium multi-tool. You've got the slotted, you've got a couple of spoke wrenches here, which is interesting. A spoke wrench, let me grab a bike wheel here, is basically designed to fit onto a particular sized spoke. There we go. I think this is 14 and 15, and then you can turn it in order to true the wheel. What I find interesting about that is truing a wheel. Okay, here's the deal. If you want to true a wheel, there's spokes on the left and on the right. Okay, the left side of the hub and the right side of the hub. If your wheel is bending, say you spin it and it's doing this number, okay, when it goes out, when it's spun and it bends to one side, what you need to do is only tighten those on the right and hopefully straighten it. Check the spoke tension, but you might also have to loosen those on the other side. So as you can see, the wheel can bounce back and forth. What you want to do with the spoke wrench is very carefully make small adjustments to pull that rim back in the direction. It's not something you don't want to tighten them or loosen them. You want to make the wheel smooth and round. There are three ways. There's dish, which is the lateral motion or lateral movement compared to the hub. There is the roundness, that's if it's kind of oval shaped, and then finally there are the blips in the rim that can actually cause it to bend one way or another. You hit something, it tensions a spoke or loosens a spoke or whatever. You want to adjust that back in. With disc wheels, it's not as big a deal. In the old caliper brakes, cantilever brakes, things like that, you had to kind of line those up in order to have good performance. Lanyard hole, it's got a couple of different sizes. You can see they're written here. We've got 5, 5, 7, and 8 for these hexes. 5.5 is interesting. If you got an MG or maybe a Triumph or something, you might have use for that. And then this is kind of a protractor here. It has a 0 to 180 degree marking on it. I could see you using that for some things. In fact, I was trying to think of how I could make that into a clinometer, like for avalanche awareness, but there's better stuff out there. And of course, probably the most popular, the coolest thing is it's a bottle opener. This part up here, I don't know, back scratcher? Anyway, but they are moving forward. I appreciate that. So there are the two new tools right there. We've got the new Otacle Pro and the Otacle Gym, or J1M from Olight. On sale now, if you're part of this sale or during this sale. But otherwise, let's see. Let's see what they evolve in the future. But I'm excited that Olight is listening to the users and producing newer and better tools. With that, Doc out.